Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this beautiful card. We're going to be using the Springtime Foils designer paper. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, love this card. So this is the vertical version of the card, and then here's one that's going at a diagonal. I'm going to show you how to do both of them, but yesterday we made this in the glitter pit, which is my Facebook Live video, and I'll have the link listed below if you want to catch out the full version of that video. But we're just going to go ahead and make this one, and then I'll show you how to make this version. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're using two Sale-a-Bration items. This is the Springtime Foils designer paper. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. And then the greeting is from the Heartfelt Bloom stamp set. We're using the Sending Heartfelt Thoughts. Alright, so let me give you the measurements of the pieces. Okay, so we're using the copper foil sheets, and these are both cut at a 1/2 inch wide, and they're by 12. And then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Then 2 pieces of Whisper White, and these are both cut at 4 by 5.25. And then also a piece of the Springtime Foils designer paper, and this is also cut at 4 by 5.25. Okay, so we're going to take one of our pieces of the 4 by 5.25 piece. We're going to grab our Stampin' Trimmer. Okay, so to make the vertical version of this card, we're going to go ahead and cut the one side at 1.25. And then I'm just going to move this piece over to 2 and cut that. So it really is up to you on how much you want to reveal in the vertical cutout. And every card will be different. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and cut our designer paper. So since this is cut at 5.25, we're just going to go ahead and cut this at, I think 2.25 inches will be enough. This is going to be the inlay of the card. So now we're going to take our second piece of the Whisper White, and we're going to go ahead and layer this piece onto the card. Okay, then we're going to take our copper foil sheets, and we're going to take our Whisper White pieces that we cut, add a strip of adhesive along the edge, and then we're just going to add the foil sheet to the edge of that. I'm just going to do a very slight edge of the copper. You can make this as thick as you like. And then take your scissors and trim that down. Now we're going to take the second piece, do the same thing. Just like that. Okay, so now this is going to get layered over top of one side. And then this piece is going to go on the other side. So your peekaboo window is going to show through. See? I'm going to cut that more. I went ahead and cut this down. This was a little bit too wide. I wanted more of the designer paper to show through. So this piece was cut at 1 3/4. So I just trimmed it off just a little bit. All right, now we're going to flip these over and we're going to add dimensionals. Take our base, lining that up right up against the edge of the base of the Whisper White, just like that. Then take this piece, do the same thing. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, love it. And then you can actually pop this up on dimensionals and then layer it onto the base of your card. Or you can just put it on with some snail adhesive. All right, now to make the greeting part, let me show you what I did. I'm going to take some Whisper White, and then I'm going to use the Versamark ink pad. Take our Embossing Buddy. We're going to stamp the greeting. Take the copper embossing powder. Okay, then we're going to heat set that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so then after I heat set it, then I just went ahead and cut it out. Just hand cut it, and then I pin at the ends. And then this is going to sit over to the one side of the card, just like that. And then I went ahead and cut out all the flowers from that designer paper as well. So you can set them inside of your cutout like that. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Or you can have them set up onto the Whisper White side of the card. So then here's this one, the finished one. Now this is the one that I popped it up on Dimensionals on the back side, but it's so beautiful. All right, so now let me show you how to do the diagonal part. Okay, so once again, we're bringing in our trimmer, and this is the one piece that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And this time, instead of cutting it at a vertical straight up and down, we're going to cut at an angle. So I'm going to start up here in the corner, and I'm just going to angle it down. Now once again, every card is going to be different. So you're just going to cut. Now this is going to be kept for the front of the card. And then you're going to move it over. Now keeping this at an angle, I want it to be a smaller point here, working down at an angle bigger down here. So I'm going to put the point here up at the top, and then I'm going to turn it so it's a wider opening at the edge down here. Hopefully that shows up on camera. So I'm going to cut that. Now we're going to use this as a template, and we're going to keep this section for the front of the card. Okay, so we're going to bring in our designer paper. This is the 4 by 5 1/4. And this one we're just going to line up onto the designer paper. Just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and cut this out following that template of the diagonal piece. So now this is going to be the center part of your card, this piece right here, okay? Then we're going to take our copper sheets again, and this time we're going to take our diagonal pieces, making sure they're going to sit on the card this way, because it will matter. Because if you put the copper foil sheet on this side, and you go to put that on your card, it's not going to fit. So you want to make sure you're putting it on the right side. So this is the side that I want to put my copper foil sheet on the back side. I'm going to take my adhesive and then you want to make sure that you're covering the points on your copper foil sheet, because when you're actually cutting this, you want it to be a point as well. So see how it's angled out here? So when you cut it, you have enough to get the point to finish that edge. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Making sure it's going to sit like this. Okay, then this piece, make sure again that we want the right side to put the copper sheet on. So this is the way this piece is going to sit. So I'm going to put adhesive on the other side. Making sure there's enough to cover the point. Okay, so there's our two pieces. Now we're going to go ahead and layer the designer paper onto the front. Okay, so you're just going to line up the edges, just like that. Okay, then we're going to pop Dimensionals up on the back side. Okay, I'm going to take our base. This is going to go up in the corner, just like that. And this one's going to go down here. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. And then here's the finished one. So again, I added the heartfelt thoughts, which can be added over here. And then you can add flowers, which I just hand cut these all out from that designer paper. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so now one more thing. Let me show you the full-size card version. Now this is if you don't want to have a border. So like for instance, this was cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to layer it onto a base like this. Okay, so if you don't want to do the layering of the base, you just want the whole full-size card for white pieces at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and do the exact same thing. So this is just your regular size card without the layer on the front like this one. Hopefully that shows up. Okay, so you can do either way. And then I wanted to show you a silver version, which we also have the gold foil sheets as well. So you could add the gold to bring the gold out of that designer paper, which would be pretty. But this is the silver version. Okay, so that's how you make that beautiful springtime foils heartfelt card. Let me bring in the vertical one as well. All right, that's it. And I'll have all the items listed below, and then also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.